Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your boy, Mike, the philosopher, the seer, along with Rochelle, the great Rochelle, and
Hey.
she is going to help me out with today's RTL and the rankings. And first, I want to say this. Over the weekend, it was kind of a hectic holiday weekend for me. I was in a little bit of a fender bender car accident.
My
So yeah,
goodness.
so I'm gonna apologize in advance if I'm not jubilant or jolly or animated. Got some concussion things going on, stuff like that.
Oh
But
my gosh. I'm so
yeah,
sorry to hear that.
yeah, so yeah, and, it happens. But the show must go on, so I'm just pushing through it. So everybody, bear with me, and I'm sure Rochelle is going to help me out in this
Yes.
episode. So
Yes, I'm
um,
gonna try to bring some extra energy.
there you go. I appreciate that. So today, it was a interesting it was an interesting show. It was an interesting episode to say the least.
Indeed. Indeed.
A lot of things. It's starting to clear up about what's kind of going on there, but at the same time, it's confusing and puzzling. It's like, why is this happening? Why is that happening? But we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, I think I'm getting more clarity about the men.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I am about the women too. Some personalities is starting to pop up that I
Yes.
anticipated would, and we're gonna get
Yes.
into that. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get started. I'm gonna do the ladies first per
Let's do
Rochelle's
it.
request. So
Thank you.
yes, no problem. So I'm gonna just go in the same order I've always been going in, which is Sabrina. I think that Sabrina is she's like I say, a very down to earth, dope woman. I like her a lot. She is in
Yeah.
that top echelon of the women that's on the show. Um, I have to say this though, Rochelle. I didn't really appreciate the ambush with Sean.
Yeah.
I mean, she kind of set it up for her friends to really kind of dump on him a little bit. Um
Um,
Now she kind of built Walter up to be this great guy, and then she was like, Sean, watch out for this, that, and the third. I mean, she was halfway being honest, but at the same time I just felt like he was dead man walking coming into that meeting.
I felt like it was the words that came out of his mouth that
Oh,
messed him up.
okay,
Oh, it was
okay.
totally him. She gave a genuine synopsis of where she was with each of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then they each had to come and present themselves. Sean just did a horrible job.
Yeah, Sean has foot in the mouth syndrome. Um,
Yeah.
I think the guy has I think we stated this in the last episode, is that he has low IQ when it comes to dealing with women and relationships. And I think he's a bit of I would say like a lazy lover, or so to speak, or he just
You
doesn't
know what
put
I
much
think his
effort in it.
problem is? You know what I think his problem is? So he's in situations with people, women in particular,
Hmm.
who do not know him. And
Right.
he talks very with ambiguous terms. He's very vague. If he would just come straight out and say what he means, what he wants, people can respect that. But when
Right.
you don't know someone and they're giving you these very vague and ambiguous answers, since you
Uh-huh.
don't know them, you automatically lean towards a negative conclusion. And that's why she said straight up, it sounds like you're playing games.
Well, yeah, and I agree with that. Another observation, I feel like Sean overshares a lot. He just overshares too much information, and it always ends up making him look bad in the end. Sort out how you feeling first, sort out some things first But when you go oversharing everything, and I did this in the past, and I'm
Right.
all of these
Right.
things, it makes you look a certain type of way. So he just needs to stop the oversharing and really just try to get to know the ladies instead of
And be
mapping
very
out.
clear
Yeah,
and direct.
instead of
Just
mapping out his thought process, because it could be kind of confusing, and
very.
a turn off to a
That's
lot of women.
one of the
So
words I wrote down with him was confusing.
yeah. But all overall, with Sabrina, I still think she 7.5 in personality. She didn't really drop much. And she's I just thought that the whole Sean situation was I mean, it was a bit of an issue with. I just had a little bit of an issue with it because it seemed like she kind of set him up, but at the
She
same
did try to
time,
come to his defense.
yeah, she did, and she did invite him there, so she did show that she was interested in him. But he got that foot in the mouth oversharing syndrome, and it just.
Right.
And he's another person who I think is um just like to see. Oh no, Courtney, just like
Mm.
Courtney was just didn't know how to find a match. But I'm gonna let you get into the guys. I'm not gonna get too much into the guys, but as far
Okay.
as Sabrina, yeah, that's where I'm at with her.
Okay.
As far as Momine, she's consistent, right?
I love me some Momine.
Yeah. Momine is
That's my girl.
consistent, and she's very easy to get along with and things like that. And you said something last episode that really made me think, and you said you thought that her and Courtney or Cornelius will make a good couple. And I'm seeing that now. I'm seeing what you were saying about that even more so, because they do have the same ideologies when it comes to waiting till marriage and things like that.
Right.
Now Moming had Walter and Dante,
Dante.
which I didn't. I mean, I kind of seen Walter because I seen their date, but I didn't really see much of her and Dante. So not to say that it's
Right. Right.
new or anything, but it was something that was. And then he was very affectionate with her, holding her hands
Yes.
under the table and all this
Yes.
other stuff.
Yes. That did it for me.
Yeah. And like I said, I can't wait till the next episode because I want to see their exes so bad. I want to see all of their exes so bad. But as far as their friends, I thought she had some pretty good friends. Didn't drill the
Yeah.
guys too much, but
Right.
at the same time, Walter was like, "Hey, I gotta, there was another guy who just left. So before you ask me if she's my number one, I'm trying to figure that out if I'm her number one.
E-
So
Exactly. That
yeah,
was a good
yeah,
answer.
yeah. So I didn't blame Walter for that one at all.
Yeah.
But like I said, Moming still steady. Still like her. She's still 7.5 in personality too, and very just the overall great woman. From what I can
Absolutely.
see so far. Uh Camille.
I'm dying to know.
I know. I see your face.
I'm dying to know.
Camille is, and it's funny because I got to know more about her through her friends, and I see how her friends treat her, and I see how, and they like, girl, you don't like to go without this, that, and this. How can you deal with Cornelius? You get bored too easy. I'm
Right,
glad I
right, right.
seen
You
that
run
with their
over the
friends.
nice guy.
Yeah. So, I think this is more of a competition for Camille than anything else, because ordinarily this is not the guy that she goes after. She goes after
Right.
the uh I would think bad boys who spice life up a little bit, you know, and is not the church going guy who's gonna wait for sex.
Right.
This is not her guy. She just wants, this is a popularity contest for her.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And did
Um,
you catch when she said, I'm tired of jumping from relationship to relationship and man to
yeah,
man. So it's like, that's why you're choosing him? Like, you didn't give any characteristics about this man. It's just that you're tired of hopping around and this seems
exactly.
like a nice guy that you can settle in with.
Yeah, I do believe she's tired of hopping around, but at the same
Right.
time, I feel like she don't have the tools to go the
Not
whole
just yet.
distance. You know what I
Not
mean?
just yet.
Nah,
Mm-mm.
and her friends know that. They dimed her out. They said she ran from 4 engagements already.
Right.
So
Right.
they called her the runaway bride, and Cornelius heard that. But I don't think he's going to do anything about it. I don't think he's going to
Oh my God.
I don't,
Cornelius.
I don't think he's going to critically think about that at all. I just think
Right.
that it just went in one ear and came out the other. I seen the words leave the left ear when they went in the right. So I don't think
Right.
that I don't think that this guy is really thinking about that, unfortunately.
No.
And but this kind of is what Camille wanted, is a guy like this. So because I think when it comes to them getting together, I just think she's gonna run all over the dude,
Right.
unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah. So but Camille is Camille. She's still low in personality, low in all. I had her at a 4. She's pretty much still at a 4.
Yeah.
The only thing is we know more about her now because her friends pretty much put it out there for him. Now, the question is, what is Korn going to do about it? That remains to be seen, but that's on him.
Yeah.
Tasia is up next. Tasia, I think I had her at a 6 last time.
Okay.
I give her a 6.5. You know, I like I said, I do like to see her. I think she's a good woman and all. I just question what she's in it for. Is it to get a
Yeah.
baby? Is it to check off a box? You know what I mean? Or is it what's the deal here? I I looked at her a little differently when I seen her going at it with Zadia at the table at the you seen that? Because
Yeah.
yeah, you know, I can't really say I blame Tasia at all either, because
Mm-mm.
Zadia was kind of coming sideways at everybody. I'll
Yes.
get to her a little
Yes.
later, but
Yeah.
I don't really have any issues with Tasia. She shot her shot with Sean. The dude never really responded,
Right.
which was,
And I was
I don't get it.
hopeful. Like, I thought that, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was really hopeful about them, but
yeah, I was too. That was one of the surprises. Like, really? You
exactly.
haven't
Yeah.
you haven't talked to her at all? Like, I mean, y'all, you say you were attracted to her. Y'all both on the same, cycle as far as wanting
Right.
children and stuff like that. So you ghost her.
And
And
see, yeah.
yeah. I know
Yeah.
you'll get to
I
Sean. I know
unfortunately,
you got some words for Sean, I'm sure.
yes, I do. But unfortunately for Tasia, I just think her guy is not here. He's not.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
And I
totally
think she
agree.
knows it too.
Yeah, because um the guys that are there are pretty much scrambling for some of the same women,
Right.
and none of them are really giving her a
Choosing her.
shot. And like we talked about this on the last episode, is that they need to bring in some guys who like her type, and like
Yeah.
some of the things that she likes, like her her physical appearance and her what she's looking for. So
Right.
that's why when you say her guy is not here, I agree 100%. He's just not
Mm-mm.
on the show.
He's not.
He's not. And she deserves somebody. Just long as she's in it for the right reasons and not just for selfish reasons. But I'm not gonna knock her too hard on it. I see effort in her trying to get to know these guys, and these guys are just dropping the ball pretty good.
Right.
Next up is Aisha. Okay, and Aisha, I didn't get a whole lot from her this episode.
Yeah.
So she doesn't really change. She kind of went at it at a verbal battle at the sit down too. I don't know why that was so contentious that time with the ladies.
I think that is their personality.
Well, I think it's getting to a point where it's getting to the wire, and everybody's talking about shrinking and getting your person, your guy. And I think it's becoming more competitive. So you're starting to see some of the nails come out, and some of the ladies is ready to scratch to get rid of some competition. So I think it's getting a little catty for that reason. It's getting more competitive, I think, and Sean is probably one of the biggest reasons why, because he was at like four meet and greets with the friends.
Oh, you mean Phil?
Oh, Phil, my bad.
Phil, yes.
Because Phil got he got a number of invites, and
he got lots of invites.
Yeah, and a lot of them know that if they don't connect with Phil, it's pretty much a wrap for them. I mean,
right? Because even Tasia invited him.
Exactly, Tasia is one. At this point, it seemed like Aisha is one. I don't even really see her messing with Frank no more.
And, no, right?
Yeah. And
he's Team Sydney.
Shiloh, she's one. Who else is Phil?
It was Shiloh, Alicia, and Tasia.
Alicia? You mean Shiloh?
Aisha. I'm sorry. Aisha.
I thought it was a fourth. Was it Zadia? I think
Phil?
Yeah, I think Zadia too.
But you know what? Phil didn't come. Only Naeem came, right?
Yeah.
But I think Zadia does like Phil. Yes. Heck, everybody likes Phil. I like Phil.
Yeah, check out Phil. Yeah, so I think because of that reason, it's getting more competitive, and it's getting to a point where, a lot of the girls are, they're ready to cut somebody at this point.
That might be how some of them move in dating, but I don't know how to compete for a man. Like, either he likes me and I like him, or he don't. What's the fight about?
Yeah, well, there is something to say about that. I'm gonna get more into that. I'm gonna answer that question a little later on. Okay. Let me go to Shiloh.
Okay.
Shiloh is just being herself. I think she's, all natural. She kind of cemented her guy, I think, with Phil. I think that's the only one I see her really feeling, is Phil. So they seem to have, I would probably say, the best connection.
I would agree.
So out of the ladies. So I can't really say anything about Shiloh. I think it kind of makes sense now that she let Tyrone go, because she was already connecting real well with Phil. Yeah. And I ain't mad at it. I it is
I like
what
them
it is.
Together.
Yeah, I do too.
I like them.
I do too. And Shiloh's still pretty cool. I had a 7.5. She's still there. Okay. Aisha was at an 8. I didn't really move her either.
Okay.
So next up is Zadia.
Yes.
Well, the real Zadia, please stand up. Okay,
Yes.
because this is kind of what I was talking about this entire season. A lot of people didn't really see what I was
Mhm.
seeing, but I
Mhm.
kind of knew this was going to be in her personality, especially when she was
Mhm.
dealing with the ladies. Now, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to the Flavor of Love. You remember the Flavor of Love? Have you watched that?
No.
Okay, it was
The
with
flavor of love.
Flavor Flav had.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
She
Back in the
reminds
day.
she reminds me of a New York, and let me explain why.
Okay.
Uh, New York really um didn't get along with the women. Okay, New York was spitting and everything at the other women, but she was real chummy with the men. Well, what with Flav?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and this is what I'm seeing with Zadia. She has that personality of F all y'all chicks, I'm gonna get my man. And I got my two, and that's that. She is what I consider uh um a man's woman.
Okay.
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 The same way oh my goodness, what's this young lady's name? She was in season, I think, 3 of Ready to Love. I um
Season
I
three.
huh?
No, I'm just trying to think. Season three.
Yeah, she was dating a muscle bound guy. And her name was it ended with an A.
Mm,
And anyway, she reminds me of her. And she was what I called at the time a man's woman. Okay. And
mm,
yeah, she was a man's woman. Now I see Zadia the same way. I see Zadia the same way. They both really don't rock with other women very well,
yeah.
but they get along splendidly with the men. Okay,
Okay.
and they don't even care about getting along with the women. And you know that could be a good thing, and that can be a bad thing. Um,
Yeah.
for the men is good though. For the men love, and me, I'm gonna just speak on me. I love women who are uh uh women's men. What? No, hold on. This the concussion, y'all. Hold on.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, yeah. I love women who are women. So women who are gravitate towards the men. And the reason
Okay.
why I love women like this is because um, they care more about getting along with their man than they do pleasing their friends, and they put their
Mhm.
family first. They put their man first. They put just in my opinion, you know.
Okay.
Um, I'm not saying that you can't do both, because I think Shiloh is one of the women who do both.
Hmm.
She can get along with the men and the women.
Hmm.
There's three, you know, men, women, women, and then both. You could do
Both.
both, and
I
like I
got you.
say, and Shiloh is like one of them women who can do both. Not many women can be in that space where they could do both.
Okay. That's
Um,
an interesting perspective.
yeah, yeah, and you know, I think that Zadia is more of a man's woman. Um, the only thing is, I think that all that snippiness and all of that, you know, snap back, that's gonna come on her man too.
Exactly. That's
You see what I'm
exactly what I
saying?
was getting ready to say.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
That
just for the
yeah,
women.
it's
Yeah.
not just for the women. It's gonna be for her man too once they get
Right.
established, okay? Because she
And
is
that's why I'm saying that's her personality
yeah, that's her
with
that's her
men
personality. And she's letting
and with
her
women.
right. That's she letting her real personality out with the women. And then she's kind of putting on a show for the men. Uh at least that's what it looks like to me so far.
Well, I think she hasn't had any type of conflict or any type of misunderstandings with the men yet. But when she does, she's going to show that same type of personality.
Yeah, I agree. I think she is going to show that same type of personality because, whatever happened in the past is likely to happen in the future. So I think that that is going to show itself a little later, probably later on in this season. We'll see it.
Yeah.
But I just think she's putting on her best. I think she's filtering herself with the guys right now because she don't want to be eliminated. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's what I was going to say. That would play to her advantage to do that. But I definitely think that she's argumentative. And she, with the women, and I just think whenever she's in kind of those situations, that's going to come out. And that, I don't know.
Yeah. That's why I say this is kind of what I was worried about with Zadia the whole time, and I kind of seen this in her, and it's starting to come out. And I'm not necessarily going to. I guess I did already judge her on it, but I kind of see where she's coming from with it. Like I said, this is the time when it's starting to get more competitive. So Zadia, her nails came out, Tassia's came out, and then Sydney came out. I'll get to Sydney a little later.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart. Oh my goodness.
Bless her heart.
Yeah. But Zadia, she's somebody I'm watching. I gave her a 6 in personality. I'm gonna drop her to a 5.5.
At least.
Yeah, yes. At least. Yeah.
At least.
Because, for obvious reasons. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Sydney.
Sydney.
Now, I'm starting to see some things in Sydney. She seems kind of how do I want to say this? She's starting to look a little Bimbo-y is not the word, is it?
I would just say shallow. That's what I've been saying. She just seems very young and shallow.
I wouldn't really say shallow because, okay, let's talk about who she's connecting with. Who is she connecting with? Frank, right?
Shallow.
No. If she was shallow, she'd be after Dante.
No. Okay.
Well,
okay,
I'm talking surface level. You know what I mean? Shallow, superficial, something like that. But she must like his character. I can't really see. Like, okay, they did used to date, and I guess they used to date. I'm not too sure about it, that they knew each other already.
Okay.
And she just seems to be reconnecting with him. And they were super affectionate.
Did you hear what she said after the meeting with her friends? After Frank left and they were kind of doing their overview. And I think the friends were just like, I don't know. And she was just like, but I look good on his arm, so that's going to be my man.
Wow. Oh, is that why you say shallow a little bit? Yeah, I get that.
Yes. And I think, honestly, like attracts like. I feel like Frank is very shallow. I think he is all about appearances. And I've been saying that about him. He just seems like he's not real genuine. He's all about appearances. And that's what I mean when I say shallow. Just like.
Right.
And even in their conversations, I don't see them like going in depth on anything, but it's still real early. But
the guy that looked like Aladdin, he said that she was giving pageant answers.
yes, the guy looked like a Latin. Yes,
he was very glossy, but yeah, he was.
He said Frank gave pageant answers.
He was saying Frank gave passion.
He said Frank, and then she said, "But I give pageant answers too."
Oh yeah. Okay. I was wondering who he was referring to, but
yeah, he was talking about Frank, because again, Frank does come off as very disingenuous and just rehearsed. Remember, I said he sounds like he's like auditioning for something.
Yeah. You're right, and yeah, he did. And Aladdin is right. He did give pageant answers. I don't know the brother's name, so, but we all know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but he did really give pageant answers, but she seemed a little. I'm just wondering what. I kind of want to say, what does she see in Frank, and why is she so affectionate with him so soon? Like, she giving straight kisses, like
right.
She
rubbing
just
the
got.
leg.
Yeah, this is the second time pretty much we're seeing her, and they are already, at first base, at least.
Right.
So,
which it made me think that they've been doing, like, either they had some kind of relationship or connection before the show, or there's been a lot of behind the scenes with them.
Yeah, they already know each other, and they had some kind of connections before. We just don't know to what extent, but it looked like it was to a pretty
strong.
Extent. Yeah. Almost like they're reconnected,
Yes.
Yeah, so that's something to watch for. She said at the sit down too, well, the other guys got to get to know me. I just got here, and everybody just rolled their eyes like,
right. They were
shade.
Like, "Look, girl, be quiet."
Yeah,
like that's how they looked.
And Zadia started laughing, and
which was rude.
Yeah, it was, and she was like, "Why are you laughing? What'd she say? Girl or something?"
Say, "Hey, girl, why are you laughing?"
Yeah, my name ain't Girl, it's Zadia. It was like, oh, you being extra.
Yeah.
And but she wasn't the only one to give her shade. I think Tasia gave her some shade. I think Aisha probably gave her some
called
shade.
her out that she was being extra, and she was.
Well, I mean, to Sydney. I think all of them was kind of giving Sydney some shade, because she rolled her eyes at all the ladies like, what's all of that about? And I think a little bit of them, like I say, it's getting more competitive. So I think the ladies are a little threatened by Sydney. I do think they're threatened by her. She not
Frank, and don't nobody want Frank.
Yeah, but I think they're worried about their men looking at her. I think she's with Frank right now because he's the default guy, because he already knew her. But I think that I anticipated in the next episode she's going to be on dates with some other guys. But we'll have to wait and see. It just
Dante was feeling her that first day.
Yeah, he was feeling her that first day, and we haven't seen anything from him since. And that's why I'm wondering, like I say, was she gone a week, or what was going on with that? But so that's pretty much all I have. Is there anybody I missed? I don't think so.
I think you got them all.
All righty.
Yep.
Got them all.
You got them all.
All right. Let's hear the tea on the men.
The tea on the men. Okay.
Yes.
So I am going to start with my bottoms.
Okay.
Right? I have lots to say about them.
Ooh.
So there's 7 men. Number 7 is Sean. And Sean did go home, and he needed to go home.
Yeah.
What I wrote next to Sean was Lord help. Like, he is just, he's so, like I said, just non-direct.
Mm-hmm.
and just very unclear with his communication. And
Right.
so off rip, as a woman, that's gonna make me guarded, and that's gonna make me think you're playing games. Just like Sabrina's friend said, like it sounds like you're playing games.
Right.
Because
Right.
here was the issue. The original statement that he said was, I don't want to 3 months later hurt you, right? The reason he said that is because he is a man that wants kids. And so he's leery about getting into a relationship with a woman who clearly says she does not want kids,
Mm-hmm.
but he's feeling Sabrina. So he's like, well, let me, see.
Mm-hmm.
And so what he's fearful of is that I might really get into this relationship with her and really like her, but then the desire that I have to be a dad will overpower that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll discover that this won't work.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want that to happen.
Right.
Why
Right.
can't he just say that? Like, just say that, because that's what it is. All this, 3 months down the road, I might end up hurting her, and I really don't want to do that because in the past,
Yeah, because what that does is that make your character look like, if you've done that in the past, I know you ain't trying to repeat it, but it just makes your
right,
character look uncertain about stuff, and
right,
you're not being very clear, or you should, like I said, he overshares to me.
yes.
He shouldn't
And
overshare.
it doesn't make sense. And when you're talking very clear and direct, you don't have to use a lot of words because
Exactly.
this is it.
Mhm.
And I like how Sabrina's guy friend called him out when he said, I don't want to hurt her down the road, but I want to be very clear and upfront about who I am. And he said, well, if you're doing that, how are you going to hurt her?
Right, right, right.
So,
And that's good, because these are things he should have already thought about. If you're like, that's a good response. Now he should have asked himself that and not have to mention that,
right,
because he wouldn't have had to mention it. See,
right,
that's why I say his thinking process is a little suspect
slow.
and kind of slow and
Yeah.
very rookie-ish, I guess you could say. He just
And
haven't
I
figured
use the
out.
word slow because
Right.
he said, he was like, maybe my pace, because when he was even talking about Tasia, he said, maybe my pace just wasn't, where it needed to be with her. Which, according to Tasia, she's like, I ain't hearing from him anymore.
Right.
Well, what do
Right.
you
What
think
pace?
she's
You have no
doing?
pace. You know what I
Right.
mean?
There's no pace.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he needs to go back to the drawing board, get some coaching on communication and just being
I
clear
agree.
and
I agree.
direct. So yeah, I had Sean at a 2 this week.
Wow.
Yeah, he dropped really low. But guess who I have at a 3?
At a 3?
At a
Frank?
3. Mm-mm.
No.
You're not
Oh,
gonna believe it.
don't say Dante. No, not Dante.
Corn.
Woo!
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you was gonna
Cornelius.
be like, okay, I can't wait to hear this. Go ahead.
Okay. Now you listen. Cornelius was my number 1 from day 1. Cornelius was my number 1, right?
Exactly.
He
Exactly.
dropped a little bit. Now okay. Cornelius, soft, naive, unassertive, a beta man, non-masculine, scary, a little boy. That's what I got from him this episode.
Wow.
All of this, I don't want it to get back to Camille that I was talking to other girls.
Right.
And then when her friends are clearly telling him things about, she's a runaway bride, she has commitment issues. I'm gonna pay attention to that. I just like, be a grown ass man.
Man, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you've lived, you've had experience with women, you've learned some things. Clearly, you should be able to say, these are my boundaries. This is how I'm going to present myself. This is what I'm going to allow you to do and not do. I have so much respect for that. And when a man or a woman can't do that, it's just sad. Like, So I feel like with Camille, a predator knows her prey.
Oh yeah.
And she knows
Oh yeah.
Cornelius is that guy that she will be able to run circles around and okay. And he gonna be sitting there
100%.
like, ah, I mean, okay. So yeah, I definitely
I thought you
lost.
was gonna be enamored with Corn this episode, and
What did he do
well,
worthy?
well, I'm just saying, when he, I guess, all her friends were impressed with him when he walked in, you
I
know.
mean, he's handsome. He has
Okay.
the smile, but
Right,
that
right,
only gets you so far.
right,
And
right, right,
so
right, right,
now it's like, what's behind all of that?
right, right,
And even with them, he was doing the whole.
right, right. I told you what I thought last episode. My nickname for Corn was Corny, because
Yes,
the
I
guy,
see it now.
yeah,
I see it
because
now. I had
and
to get past the
yeah,
arms and the smile and
right,
the
right, right,
yeah.
right.
Now
Yeah,
I'm just
he
like, okay.
jacked up. I give him that. When I said though that he let those other guys in last episode, he let those other guys talk to the two ladies he was talking to, and that showed a little character flaw. Like he wasn't man enough to step to
Yes,
either one of them.
yes,
That was a red
yes,
flag for me with Corn.
yes.
So I was just like,
Yep, you caught
man,
that.
man,
Yep.
yeah.
So yeah, I definitely
Kudos to
yeah.
you though. Kudos to you, because you caught that, and you put aside whatever, superficial stuff, and you judged him on his character. So kudos
Right.
to you. That shows your character. So
Yeah,
good
the
job.
superficial, the
Yeah.
smile, those muscles, that'll get you so far. And then I need to see like
The man
a
in you.
man, a
Yeah.
masculine, So yeah, and it's just not the way that he is like at this point, the other women are afraid to talk to him
Right.
because of, you know what I'm saying? And for me, I would appreciate a guy who would come and set that straight. Like, listen, this is a process.
Right.
She likes
Right.
me. I'm liking her, but I'm definitely here for, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, make me be like,
Hmm.
oh, okay. He
Yeah, because
doesn't
he
have
was
to
he
do
was
that.
in the he was in the bottom two.
He was
It was
in the
about to
bottom.
it was about to send his ass home.
Yeah.
You know?
And for good reason, because he's made no other connections
Exactly. And
with
he's not even
anybody.
really trying.
Right.
He's not
At
really
this point,
trying to.
him and Camille should just either leave together or
Exactly.
because it's a
Exactly.
wrap. But yeah, she would definitely run all over him.
Corn
So
number
him,
three.
he dropped down to a
About
3.
three. Wow.
And I actually put Frank rose above Cornelius this week. I
Wow.
have Frank out of 5, and I think I have Frank probably, I can't remember, probably out of 4 or 5.
Okay.
But this is my thing with Frank. So for me, I just appreciate somebody who just is authentically themselves. So even if you're a horrible person, but you're straight up that horrible, I appreciate that. Frank to me is a very shallow, pageant answer giving, unauthentic person. But I think he's very clear about that, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like,
And he doesn't
this is
seem
how
to
I'm
be
going to move.
he doesn't
And
seem
I
to be
want
a
to pick the
pushover.
girl who's in that same vein. And I
Right,
think
right.
that's why, yeah, him and Sydney, I see that working. Temporarily. Like I don't think that they would ever like go the distance.
Right, right.
But yeah, I did. For him, I just put shallow, fake. He's for appearances. He's all about appearances. But I think he's very intentional about that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
So if that's who you want to be, that's who you want to be. Okay. So I had him out of 5. The rest, my top 4, I think I had them pretty much at the same numbers. So I had Naeem next. I thought with Naeem, he's authentic, right? But Naeem really doesn't share like who he really is. So I'm still sitting here like, what are some of your past experiences? What is it that you're
who are
really
you?
looking for? Yeah. He just seems really guarded. Like a person that you could kind of be in class with or sit next to for years and years and then still walk away and be like, I don't even really know them.
Right, right.
you know, because he's not gonna really let you go that deep.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's just part of his plan, or that's just how he moves when he's opening up. But so I still had him at a 7.
Keep talking. I'm listening.
Okay. And Walter was next. I have Walter at an 8. I felt like Walter held his own when he was with Sabrina's panel of friends. She has so many friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that with Walter, I think he's all in with Sabrina. I know he had his meetup with Momine, but I think he just kind of showed up because he was asked to show up. I don't really think his heart is there. He probably likes her and thinks she's cool, but he was very clear that his strongest connection is with Sabrina. And you could kind of see it. And I like that I could see him easily fitting into her friend groups, and probably her fitting in with his too.
I agree with that.
Right.
100%. Yeah.
And that was another thing about Cornelius. I could not see him fitting in with Camille's friend groups. That friend group.
It would rip him to shreds.
Oh my gosh.
Rip him to shreds.
Yeah.
Because like people, or they hang with each other, like-minded people. And her and her friends are like-minded. And he will be like a lamb in a lion's den. Okay.
I can see him just in a corner in a fetal position. Like,
they would tear him to shreds.
No match for them. But yeah, I definitely just all around thought Walter did a good job. Next I had Dante, and Dante, I actually gave him an 8 this week, and it was him. Yeah.
So he went up or what?
He went up. And you know what it was? Remember, I was like, Dante is just still mysterious, and I still just don't know about him. It was him holding Momine's hand.
I knew it.
I knew God. Like,
I knew that's what it was.
It did it for me.
The little affection.
Yes. But you know what I liked about it was he did it once Walter came. And to me, the message that I would get is that he's saying, like, I know this other dude is here, but you're with me. You know what I'm saying?
It's an alpha move.
That's an
alpha move. That's an
and
alpha
I'm all
move.
for alpha moves. I love that. And like how she said, it just kind of, calmed her down and made her feel more relaxed. So he moved up to my top 2 this week. I love the confidence. I just like when a guy is very sure about me and very sure about us. And that's what the hand holding did for me.
Got you.
But so he was number 2, and my number 1 still is Phil. I still have Phil at a 9.
Wow.
I do.
So you don't feel no way that he was, with 4, like he kind of spread itself? No, I mean, I guess you can understand why he's number 1 with all the ladies.
Yeah, they're choosing him, and I see why.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the fact that, he's making it a point to show up. He said, they're asking me to come, and so I'm gonna try to make myself available.
But so okay, so you wouldn't give him no slack, like you should be choosing me, you should be doing it. You wouldn't be like that, because I think some of the ladies are like that right now. Like the men should be shrinking. They should be, I think I've heard Tasia or somebody say something like that, right?
Tasia is very much on. They need to be shrinking, but Tasia, ain't nobody shrinking for you.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't see that as a problem because of the process that you're in. You're supposed to go out and date and see and meet and experience, and then make your decision. So no, I mean, what would he do? Say no if someone asked, "Would you come and meet my friends?" No, I'm not going to meet your friends.
Right.
No, I think the way he handled himself in each situation, I think he handled himself well. I think he was still very respectful of all of the ladies that he's considering. and how he answered questions and things like that. Um, yeah, so I have zero negative things to say about Phil.
Okay.
And I even like, of course, they're asking the question like, well, who's your top and who's your top? And he's just saying, keeping it very general. This is when you need to keep it general and vague, Sean, just to say, well, I have strong connections. But I think he did say that Shiloh was his strongest.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And that's who I see him with. That's who I see Phil with. Is Shiloh.
Shiloh, yeah, yeah, I do too.
I think that, yeah.
I don't think I did my top 5 yet. Let me know. Let me do my top 5.
Okay.
Are you done or no?
No,
you have some
was,
more of me?
Yep, Phil was my number 1.
Phil is number 1.
It was number 1.
You can only mess it up for yourself at this point, bruh.
Right.
Let me ask you this: do you think he should just go ahead and just choose like how long will it take before it start looking a little suspect if you don't choose somebody? Like, do he got like a couple weeks, or he should start doing that now? Like, is now the time to start solidifying?
Right, because next week one of the ladies are gonna have to go home, but I don't think it's gonna be one of the ladies that he still has a connection with, right? So to me, this is where it would become an issue. When it gets to the point where he's saying the same thing to me that he's saying to other ladies. Like, that's when it's like, wait a minute. Like, I understand
do the Corey.
Right. When it gets to that, it's like, okay, dude. But as long as he is still like respectfully dating multiple women, and I think that that's possible to do. Okay. Then I think he's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the issue is probably going to come when they have like a group, we're all going to the whatever.
Right.
And then the other ladies see how he's moving. That could possibly change my opinion. So if I was one of the ladies who was one of his stronger connections, and then I'm kind of observing how he is with other women, because sometimes you can tell, like, okay, he don't do that with me, or
right.
I think he liked her a little more.
So I think Tasia was kind of doing that. In a preview I seen, I think Tasia was doing that. Like, he got Shiloh all up on him, and I don't like the way this feel. I think she said something like that at the end of the show, or something like that.
Yeah. So if I saw their interactions, and then I just felt like, okay, they got something deeper than he and I have, I would just fall back.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go bottom to top here. Aisha's still number 5. She's still cool, dope, everything. She's Aisha. I would like to see more out of her. I know that she didn't really get a chance to, because Frank just ghosted for Sydney, and she don't really have any other connections other than Phil at this point. So, but her as a woman, her as a person, she's still, top 5. So she's number 5. Number 4 is Sydney. She's no longer number 1.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't really have an immediate issue with Sydney. It's just that I'm a little disappointed she chose Frank, if that makes sense. I'm just like, you square kissing this dude in the mouth day 1, 2, and I know y'all know each other, but it was kind of and she was kind of, like you say, like I said, she was a little, what did I say she was? Just kind of a little too bubbly, a little too naive or something to me. And she was kind of, uh, just not really, just not really. She seemed to kind of lack a little bit of male intelligence, if I'm
Yeah.
being
Does she kind of come
honest.
across as like a college girl?
Yeah, college girl.
Like
That
fresh
could
out of
be it.
college and
And sometimes, and I've dated, women older than me. I've dated women my age. I've dated women much younger than me. And the women that I dated younger than me, I did see a little high school in them. You
okay.
know what I mean? And that could be fun at some times, and it could be annoying at other
It can be
times. You know what I
annoying.
mean?
Right,
And I can
right.
kind of see Sydney having that little high schoolish in her. And
Yes.
then I start to feel like a parent instead of her man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yep.
I don't necessarily want to go down that road.
Right.
But that's what you're gonna have to deal with when you're dating younger women. Um,
Right.
but it's a catch 22. You kind of gotta, if you're gonna do it, you gotta find a younger woman who's mature.
Mm-hmm.
But she don't seem to be in that category. She seemed to be
Mm-hmm.
in her age. Well, she actually younger than what she is. I think she's what, 33. She really acts
Um,
like 23. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And
And then
that could be, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I would rather she act 33 instead of 23. You know what I
right.
mean?
And so
So
I feel like Sydney is still just like coming into her own.
right.
Maybe she had very sheltered, you know, experiences growing up.
Hmm.
Um, and so she's now just at that stage. Because I can semi relate to that, but it's a whole different issue. But so it's not that we have anything negative to say about Sydney, right?
Right. Great
Not that.
girl,
It's
great.
just
It's just that, yeah, it's just that she she comes off just a little bit more immature than her age.
yes. I think
And
she lacks some life experiences.
yeah, and
And
I want,
because of that, yeah.
exactly, and I want to see a little more substance out of her, a little bit more.
Mhm.
Like, she hasn't really come, dug deep into herself and her emotions
Not
like
at all.
Aisha has. It's all surface level. So I want to see
Yep.
more of the real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't want
Yeah.
to. If I see more of this, I'm gonna start thinking you putting on for a show. You know what I
Right.
mean? And you using Frank as your anchor to get you through the show. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Because you know you can ride it out with him. Because like she said, he had already liked her before they
Yeah,
even
he
got
had
together.
already liked her, and
So
I think she is kind of cementing him as her anchor, and then she's gonna try to date some of the other guys. But I just want to see a little bit more real from her, if
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I know you was like, how she get to be number one last week?
Yes. I'm
Yeah,
like,
hey,
mm-mm.
I had to drop her like you did corn. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
You caught
So
it. I'm proud
yeah,
of you.
yeah. So um, number three is Momi.
Okay.
Momin, that's my girl still. Like I said, I mean, honestly, I don't know if I could rock with the whole after marriage thing.
Wait,
Like,
wait,
that's my only. She would probably be number one if it wasn't for that, if I'm being honest.
really?
Yeah, she would be number one. It would be easy for her to be number
Wow.
one if it wasn't for that, because I um can't really see I can't really go with that, to be honest. You know,
Gotcha.
but
Is that big of a deal breaker?
personality wise, I think she has the best, actually, and
Yeah.
she's very attractive.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she is. So yeah, she would have easily been number one if it wasn't for that.
That's
But
insane.
yeah,
I
yeah.
I would think that a man would appreciate that.
It's a catch 22. I do appreciate it. I respect it. I probably respect it more than I appreciate it, to be honest.
Okay.
Because look,
That's a better word.
at this stage in life, right? Ain't none of us young. Okay. I don't. How old is Momin?
Momine
know?
is she's in her mid-30s.
She's in the mid-30s,
Yeah,
mid to late 30s. Okay,
mid to
look.
late 30s.
Okay, look. That, it's cute when you're young, you know what I mean?
It's cute when
Okay,
you
when you
young.
start when you pass like 24, 25, come on
No
now.
go. Okay,
No.
so let me ask you this. So if she was open to doing some things and just not having sex, would that be okay?
Talking about sloppy toppy. I know you didn't want to say. I say it for us, but or some other things. Um, I still feel like we're too old for that. I still feel like we're too old for the save. Like unless she is a virgin, which
Yeah, okay.
I'm not
That's
sure if
different.
she is. I doubt if she is.
No, she said she wasn't.
Okay, if she's not a virgin, what are we saving? What are we saving? Like for real? Because that will make me feel away because I feel like other guys got access that I don't have, and that is not fair to me as a man.
Okay.
Um, that's something and that's very important because you want to be able to know, like Courtney said, I believe you want to know your partner in all from beginning to end, A to Z, before you make a major decision like that, especially in this time and age, this day and age, this country, whatever the case may be. You want to know all the ins and outs before you get to that point because it's too much on the line for that. So I can't really just let that go, especially at our age. If you're
Mm.
past 25 or even 27, I'll give you a couple more years. Okay.
Oh wow.
Then what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Especially if you're not a virgin. Like that almost seemed like a punishment on me, and I don't know who knows how many other guys you were with. You know what I mean?
I see.
So for
I
that
mean, I
reason,
think when someone makes that kind of decision, it's not something that you enter into just, haphazardly. So
right,
I
right,
think
right.
it's, it has to be connected to a strong purpose. It's usually, their faith or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
related to their faith. So I respect it. Um, if I met a guy and he was like, like Cornelius, and he was like, I really just want to wait before, like, I would love that because I feel like it would help me to do it. But
Okay, look at it like this. What if a guy said, I'm not spending no money on you until
oh
marriage?
God,
Okay, let's do the equivalent.
next.
I'm not spending no money on you. You're not even getting a ring until we get down the aisle. Then I'll give you the ring when we get married. But no engagement ring, no house, no cars, no nothing. We go Dutch the whole time. Okay. Yeah, I see the look. I see the look on your face.
Listen, that
And
changed the game when you put it like
yeah,
that.
yeah. And that's
Um,
that's kind of how men view it from their perspective
okay.
because in
I'm
a lot of
glad you
ways,
said that analogy because that,
in a lot of ways that's the equivalent. Believe just it just is what it is. That's the equivalent.
okay.
um from a male from a woman's perspective, that would be the male equivalent. Okay. No
Okay.
money on you. Okay, when we get married, okay, yeah, but until then,
And it's not that I'm like a gold digger. You got to spend
I,
money on me.
exactly. But now I've spent money on women in the past. Okay, I bought cars and this, that, and the third. I just don't want to make the same mistake with you. You're gonna look at me sideways. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know. I will say I would have to really, really, really like him. I would have to really like
You
him.
would go Dutch the whole time until marriage.
If And this would have to be I would have to really like him, really have a strong connection with him, and really feel like really understand where he's coming from in this, and know that, you know,
Okay, I'll put it this way.
I could go on this
If
journey with him.
I'll put it this way, if you were okay, let's say for instance, you and I were dating, right? Just an example.
Yeah.
And you said no loving until marriage. And I
Yeah.
said, okay, we go Dutch the whole time. That's the only way I would be willing to accept it if you said no nookie, is if I said, okay, we go
We'll
Dutch
go
the whole
Dutch.
time. Because then it's a risk on both of our sides, so to speak, or it's a
Okay.
compromise. It's a healthy compromise or whatever. Um, if Moming agreed to that,
Mm-hmm.
she would be number one. You see where
Okay.
I'm coming from
I
now?
actually think Momine would agree to something like that if she was with a guy that she had a strong connection with and really liked.
You know what? I would kind of give her the benefit of the doubt. It's not really likely, but because of her personality, I will kind of give her the benefit of the doubt. Like
Yeah,
if that, like with Camille,
absolutely not.
absolutely not. Forget about it. Forget
Absolutely
about it.
not. Yeah.
She wants your credit card information
On
already.
day one.
Day
On
one.
day one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
expiration date, all of it.
But that's interesting. I like how
Yeah.
you, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good comparison.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Shiloh is number two.
Okay.
She got a good connection with Phil and this, that, and the third. And I mean, I could see her being number one too. But Shiloh is number two. I don't really have anything negative to say about Shiloh, really.
Yeah.
As far, especially personality wise, I don't really have anything negative to say about her. She riding it out with Phil. She's kind of want to say she really understands the psychology of a man. Okay, this whole intimacy coaching thing, I think honestly she could have any man in there she really wanted.
Mm-hmm.
All she got to do is put on her, I think she just wanted Phil. I mean, Phil is the top guy there, and who is he cozied up
Would he?
next to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shiloh. I think she
Yeah.
could, with her mind, I think she can get any of the men that she wanted. If she wanted to take Walter, I think she could take Walter from Sabrina if she wanted to. That's a dangerous woman. You know what I mean?
That's an outstanding compliment.
Yeah, yeah, it's a compliment, but it's also a concern as a man because I'm like, a lot of men, I mean, you will see rich men, millionaires, billionaires getting with women like this. You know what I mean? And next thing they know, they handing over what did Bezos hand over? Like $30 billion, and
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
she just has the psychology of a man down to a T, and I honestly feel like whoever she wanted, she will walk out of there with it, because she has that ability. So it's important, ladies, to understand the psychology of a man. Shiloh got
Yeah.
it. She's an intimacy
And use
coach.
it for good, not for evil.
Use it for good. She's an intimacy coach. She's not new to none of this. So
Yeah.
she knows what to do. And let me tell you something. I actually think they have been closer than I think they've been close, super close. Her and Phil.
Shiloh
I
and
think
Phil?
they've been intimate.
Shiloh and Phil?
I think they've been intimate. A lot of the couples on these shows do like, I was just seeing where Vernisha and Joel was going at it. You know what I mean? Intimacy wise. And they wasn't the only ones on that last episode, last season.
Nah.
Well, that's what Vernisha said. She said it wasn't just her and Joel that was smashing. It was a lot of couples that was smashing. I would not be surprised, especially as how close they got. I would not be surprised if Shiloh put it on him, and he wasn't seeing nobody but her after that. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So that's just look.
Oh,
That's just a guess. I'm not
yeah.
putting it out there as being
Yeah.
fact. That's just
Yeah.
my own from what I know, experience wise, I can. That's just my guess. So don't take
Yeah.
that as a fact.
Yeah.
Um.
I would like personally, I would say it's way too soon to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
going that far with any other guy.
Yeah. But
Um,
I think that like for us, it doesn't seem like it's very long, right? But for them, I think they are. I don't know what they're probably in week 3 now, something like that, of
right,
knowing
right,
each
right,
other.
right, right.
So I think that it's highly
It's
possible,
possible.
and I
It
think
is
she
possible.
just, yeah, I think she probably put it on him.
I would
So
hope not. Not yet.
yeah,
I mean,
it's just a guess, but
yeah.
I know this kind of woman, so yeah. Anyway, let's move
Okay. Okay.
on.
Moving
Yeah,
on.
so number one is Sabrina.
Yeah.
I just like her class. You know what I mean? I like her class. I like her look. I like her personality. I see her as wifey material at this point
Yeah.
more than anybody else. Um, and like I said, with the whole thing of the Sean thing, I'll get over it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was just a little mishap. But and like you
Yeah.
said, she tried to take up for him a little bit. So
She
that that
did.
that was
And
a
he
that
had
was
a
a good
hand in
thing.
it.
Yeah, and at least the brother got an invite. He just suffers from foot in the mouth syndrome.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
it's not a knock on her. I thought she had some fairly classy friends. You gotta watch
Yeah.
you gotta watch who the friends are to know who they are. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and like I said, birds of a feather, they pretty much flock together. So I think that she is a classy lady, and I see her friends kind of supporting that. And yeah, that's why I put her back at number one. So
Yeah.
Sabrina's number one. Yeah.
Okay. And I could definitely see that. I like your top three. Sabrina, Shiloh, and Momine, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, with the friends, I don't know. I think production might have had a hand in this, and I thought that whole like be ready to grill them, and like that's not even realistic. Like if I'm bringing my friends to meet my new boyfriend or somebody that I'm liking, that's not even the energy that you bring. Where do
Right.
you see yourself in 5 years? And but I guess for the show
Right.
they're doing that.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, I do like Sabrina. I thought her friends were kind of giving that like I'm superior than you type vibe a little bit.
Hmm.
Um
Yeah, a little bougie,
little
little,
bougie.
yeah.
And I don't have a problem with bougie. I have a problem with superiority. Like
Yes, yes, I
you're
agree.
less than.
I
Like
agree. I
we
agree.
move a little different, but so yeah, some of our friends were kind of giving that vibe.
Yeah, I
Sabrina
don't think he
doesn't
gonna
give that
measure up, and it could have been a little bit of protectiveness of Sabrina. You know what I mean? Like, we
Yeah.
know your worth, and you deserve a guy who's like when Sean said the whole, I could take care of Bill or two. You
Oh my God. Boy, boy. He just don't know what to.
take
Oh my
care of a
God.
bill or two. Throw the cable
What
bill at
grown
me.
man answers that question like that? She asked, are you ready to be a provider? You mentioned that you want kids. She asked, are you ready to be a provider?
Right,
I can pay a bill or two. Like I would legit see my 21-year-old son saying that.
right,
Well,
right,
I can
right,
pay a bill or two. I mean, what you
right.
got on? I can see him answering that question like
Right,
that.
right. Yeah. And they just thought, she needs a guy who can do more than that. And, and that's why they was like, yeah, he don't cut it. He ain't gonna make it.
Not at
Not
all.
not that she don't make her own money or nothing like that, but they just had her back. I did see a little bouginess, maybe a little snobbiness, but
Yeah.
protectiveness, I think, and it was all for a good cause. I didn't think they came off overly rude. I just think they
Yeah.
came off
No.
as being overprotective. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
I would agree. I would agree. But like I said, I think for the most part, I could see the men fitting in with the friend groups, except for Cornelius, of course. I even think Frank would fit in with Frank would fit in with Sydney's friends.
mm, with Sydney's friends.
Yeah.
I don't
Not
know
j-
about that. I don't know how well him and Aladdin is really
Aladdin.
gonna hit it off, because I do look at Frank as not so much being a beta male. I do look at him. I guess you could say, well, I don't know, maybe alpha. I don't know. These titles is kind of crazy, but
Yeah. Yeah.
but at the same time, the friend was like, he giving pageant answers and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't really see him really fitting. I think he'll rock with Sydney, but he'll stay clear away from her friends. That's what I think. Yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Probably. But yep, I think I still have my couples that are going to the end. I'm definitely putting Walter and Sabrina, of course.
I agree.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say Phil and Shiloh.
I agree. That's my
I think
number two.
they're gonna what is it called? They're gonna recoil or
Yeah, like reconnect, or you talking
it,
about it together?
what would the lady
With
say?
each other?
It's too much stretching. We need to
Oh, shrink it. Yeah, that's what they
shrink.
were
I think they're
saying.
gonna shrink.
Shrink to a couple. Yeah.
I think they're gonna shrink to a couple. Um, and then um Dante.
Momi.
I would love to see Dante and Momine. But to be honest, I think that Momine and I hate to say it, like ugh, I can't even say it. I don't want him for her. I was gonna say Momine and Cornelius, but after what I've seen from Cornelia this week, I don't even want him with Momine.
Yeah.
He would need a woman like that because
He
Momine
would.
wouldn't run over him.
Exactly.
She would not run over him, right?
Exactly.
But at the same time, he's not going to be that man who's takes initiative and things like that. Something that she would need, because I think she really liked that when Dante demonstrated that with the whole holding her hand and all of that.
Why don't he see that in Momin? Why, like, what is it that he's not? Has he even tried? Like,
I don't recall him going out on a date. Remember, it was him and Courtney. That was the only other woman that
right.
he was other than that, I didn't see him connecting with anybody.
Yeah.
Camille.
He's so scared of Camille that he don't want to make
I don't want to get back to Camille that I was talking to other. When he said that, I almost threw up. I was like, you are a child.
Yeah,
really?
yeah. You're not a man, bro. You're just a little boy trying
man, boy. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And ideally they will make a great match. Ideally, I mean, if we had to match make, we would do that. We will put them two together.
Yeah.
We will put Shiloh and Phil together. We will put or would you put him with somebody else?
No, I would put Phil and Shiloh.
Okay.
I think yeah.
And I do think Walter and Sabrina make a good couple. The only thing is, I thought you said that Walter wanted kids.
No.
He don't?
Walter has kids.
He has kids? Okay.
Doesn't he have kids? Yeah. Phil doesn't have kids.
Phil doesn't. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And I don't know if Shiloh does.
Yeah, I'm
But
not sure if she does either. I think
yeah,
she
my
do,
own
but
Shiloh, yeah, I think
yeah,
she might have kids, but Phil doesn't. And I think he said he wants kids, but he hasn't been saying like that's a deal breaker for him.
yeah, yeah.
I think he's
Okay.
kind of good either way. But yeah, and the whole Sydney,
And
so
Frank,
okay, Sydney and Frank, Cornelius and Camille, I think they're gonna ride it out with each other, right?
mm-hmm.
Because nobody else is really choosing them.
Right, right,
So it's like they're stuck with each other by default. You don't have any other options, right?
right, right,
So if you want to stay on the show, each week choose me, each week I'm gonna choose you. Okay.
right, right.
Um, but you know, 2 weeks after the taping is finished, that's gonna be a whole wrap on them. Like
Yeah,
they'll show up at the reunion like, no, we're not together no more because that, whatever.
right, right.
But couples that I think can legit go the distance, Walter and Sabrina.
Mm-hmm.
Phil and Shiloh, I like them together, but I'm not gonna say like I can all the way see them going the distance. I would hope for that.
I can see them going the whole distance because I think Shiloh has his mind.
Yeah.
I just think
You
she
mean,
has
and
his
I'm talking
mind.
about going the distance after the show.
I'm talking about after the show too.
Oh, okay.
I think that she has his mind, and I think she can hold on to it. Unless there's something in the background that we don't know about, like I said, like I always had this suspicion with Shiloh, there's something
You
in the
did say
background.
that. You did say
I
that.
still do.
Okay.
But without like them just being together, I think they can make it work. But if it's something in their background that we can't see, I think that could probably mess it up.
Okay.
What that is, I'm not all the way sure, but like she might have a sketchy past or something like that. But this dude he's smitten.
Yeah.
I mean, I seen like a preview of them at the party or whatever, like when to see it was a little Jay, that Shiloh was so close to him, and he was I think he was touchy feely with her and everything.
Yeah.
That's why honestly I think they smashed. I think they
Okay.
smash, but he's head over heels for Shiloh. I think he's making his rounds with the other ladies because he don't want to put all his
Yeah.
eggs in one basket. You
In
see what
one
happened to
basket, of
Tyrone.
course.
So yeah, but at the same time, this dude, he's gone, man. He's gone. She put it on him. I think she put it on him. But
Right. I feel like she
just
feels the same
speculation,
way. It's
y'all.
mutual, at least. It's mutual.
Yeah, it's mutual. It looks mutual. I think she's smitten with him too.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, he's well, you say I don't that he's the best guy there. So I think she's smitten with him, and he's a good guy. From what I see, he's a good guy, and like you say, he's nurturing. He ain't coming off super beta or nothing like that.
Right.
And but he still has a high IQ when it comes to women. Like he's been like he's been taught well, or his mother taught him good. So
yeah.
So yeah,
he has high IQ when it comes to women, and she has a high IQ when it comes to men.
exactly. That's why they connect. That's why they connect. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So those you stole my picks because those were all my picks too.
Okay.
So I agree with you 100%. Sabrina, Walter, Shiloh, and Phil. I will say Dante and Momin. I think they really starting to connect. Now the only thing that will mess that up is the wild card of Sydney. I'm wondering how Sydney is going to mess up any of these connections. So I'm gonna be looking for that in later episodes because I have a feeling that Sydney is going to jump in front of some of these couples just to test the waters. and then the nails are going to come out, and I think it's going to be, and probably in that preview that we seen, it was probably something to do with that.
Oh, because of
I don't know.
Sydney.
I'm just guessing.
Ooh.
But I think Sydney is going to be the wild card that really get in there and try, because you got to think she don't really know all the guys that well yet, and she's going to try to be getting to know more guys. I don't think she's going to hitch her wagon all the way with Frank, even though she's the only option he got. I don't think she wants to be the only option she got. So, so yeah, I think she's gonna shoot her shot with some of the guys, and it's gonna cause a ruckus. It's gonna cause a So.
And I mean, she's gorgeous, but I think so. Guys like Phil, Walter, Naeem, I don't think that Sydney's gonna be able to sway them. I mean, they'll see her and think that she's very attractive, because she is. But I think they'll just be like, oh, okay, and then going back, home.
So you think Dante is gonna?
Dante can be swayed, yeah.
He can be swayed.
Dante can be swayed, yeah, because he's not like strongly locked in on anybody. And I think Dante, he kind of likes that. He wouldn't mind having a trophy wife who is just a trophy and doesn't really bring much else.
You think Corn can be persuaded? Because look, he got to get to know some other women, right? I mean, that's what who was it? Zadia told him that he got to get to know. Oh, one of them. It was Zadia.
He literally said he didn't want it getting back to Camille that he was talking. So he's scared to talk to other women. So no, I don't think he can be swayed. Yeah, I just see him now just like just a man boy, and he's just gonna do that little laugh and that
right. The little shy boy laugh and whatever boss says.
Exactly. And I mean, I guess some men prefer that. They prefer to kind of
there are men out there who prefer more of an alpha woman because they're more beta men. And to be honest, that's actually a match. It's only not a match when there's two alphas. You can't be both alphas, because it's going to cause all kind of problems. And if you both betas, who's going to lead? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, that's my definition of equally yoked, is when your personalities can complement each other in certain ways, where cooperation is at its highest. That's my definition of it. Because two alphas, they would just be fighting for dominance the whole time, and it would cause all kind of problems and things like that. So
I just think that you have to kind of be careful with that, where the woman is in the role of the alpha and the man is in the role of
I agree.
You have to be really careful with that, because to me, I just think that it's not in order. And so when things are not in order, there's not really a good foundation. So you may take on that role of being the leader of the household as the woman, but on down the line, it causes things. It's going to cause maybe some resentment. It's going to cause some lack of respect. It's going to cause some, chips away at other important things on down the line.
You, my dear, are 100% correct, because it goes out of the nature. Okay, it's not natural. It's not. Now there are some women who just are a little bit more assertive, and some guys who are just a little bit more laid back, or whatever, and it works. I've seen it work myself. But it is not a natural. It's not a natural matchup, but I still do think it could work. It's just not a natural way of doing things. It's not a natural setup. It's normally meant for the man to lead and for, you know, the woman to follow in his lead, and you know, everybody play their position or their part, so to speak, you
Right.
know. And in that setting, that's the most natural, and that's the most you could say likely or popular way of doing it, because it falls in lines with the laws of nature. But when you start falling out of lines of laws with with nature, you start it really won't it it probably won't last, because like you said, if the woman feels like she has to lead and do all that, she's gonna lose respect for you. Why?
Right.
Because you're not in your natural state as the
Right.
leader, you know.
Right.
It's only when the woman accepts her role as the leader that it can work. But if she's doing the role and she don't accept it and start resenting you, it's not going to work. You know.
Okay.
But everybody has to accept their role for it to work. And like I said, it can work, but you know, they just got to accept that role.
Right.
And a lot of times, if a man is being too beta, he's not going to accept that role. If a woman's being too alpha, she's not going to accept that role. Resentment, and then break up. So yeah.
Exactly. That domino effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're right. Any last words here?
I think I've said it all. I'm excited for the next episode.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff,
Yeah,
Rochelle.
yeah.
Good job. Yeah,
Coaching too.
yeah. I try. You know, I ain't as good as you. I'm trying to be
Concussion and
like you.
all.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, just got back from the doc and told me it was a concussion. I had to do a CT scan and all of that. It was just
Bless your
crazy.
heart.
Yeah, so but trying getting some meds and
Get you
getting
some
back. They
rest.
said it's going to take a while to fully recover, but I'll be all right. I'm a strong man, so you know.
That you are.
Yeah, so I'll be okay with the help and the blessings of,
Yes, and
you know,
I'll be
some of my
sending you
friends and
positive
family.
vibes and prayers.
I appreciate that. I really do, really do. So yeah, and I don't really have much else. It was a crazy episode. Some things did come to light. I didn't really see the whole Dante and Moming thing really taking shape the way it did. I didn't really see you know, Sydney kissing Frank straight out, you
Like
know.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see her one episode and then the next she's like full affection on Frank.
Right. His
I
hands
was
all on her thighs.
Yeah,
And
that was a
like,
surprise.
okay.
I didn't really see the fact that Sean just dropped the ball and ghosted Tasia. That was a
I didn't
surprise.
see that either.
You know, so there were a lot of surprises. I wasn't surprised by Zadia finally coming out and, you know, showing that other side of her. I was kind of waiting on that. So, but yeah, so it was an interesting episode, and we'll recap the next one as soon as it comes out. So so is that pretty much it?
That's
for
pretty
you?
much it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, me and the lovely Rochelle. And this is the season. This is the episode what, 7, something like
That
that,
was episode 7
of Tia RTL season 5. And since the BMR covered it, now it's official. Peace.
Bye.